It's such an important key. That's why it's key number 3 in the book. Because if you are wherever you're at on your holistic journey of healing, wherever you're at in your evolution, you won't get past that point. Like that's not just something that just happens one time. This is a daily thing that you have to understand. The first 11 keys in this book are what I consider the prerequisites of things that you really need to understand to go on this journey. Just like if you walked into a gym and we was going to do your gym membership and talk about what your goals were, physically, it would be reasonable for me to turn around and you and say, okay, well, for you to do what you want to do, this is what it's going to take. This is what you should understand to do what you say you want to do. You're going to have to be here X amount of days a week. It would definitely benefit you to avoid these foods, and kind of give you the provisions along with what it's going to take to go along and complete this journey, right? Favorably. So the first 11 keys in this book are me telling you, these are the things that if you want to manifest these first 11 things you should know off the bat and understand and be willing and able to do if you want to be successful on this journey of mastering self. You feel me? So, and key number 3 says, prepare your mind and emotions to confront and release hurt, resentment, and regrets in order to clear mental blockages. Another trick to that is that real growth occurs when you start checking yourself rather than by blaming others and pointing the finger at others and allowing yourself to say that what I did is because of what they did. That used to not be a way of thinking. Like the further we go back in our ancestry, that wasn't even a way of thinking. That like the fact that you audibly admitted your behavior is a reflection of what someone else did. Like, could you imagine? Like, where our people didn't even used to think like that. But now that's something that you could just say. Not to say that these other people aren't responsible for you experiencing something. However, these other people, these other things don't have to be responsible for what you do. We weren't taught that though. To do more things than what you actually have to do if you're really trying to live a goal-oriented life or trying to get away from, any opportunity to not maximize your opportunities. So even if you just watched 30 minutes to an hour less TV, in your body, like that contradictory idea and thinking that a lot of us, I think, kind of came from or were seen exemplified in front of us and then instinctively inherited. You gotta let that go. Like your actions gonna have to back up what your mind talking about and what your soul want and what your spirit want. Matter of fact, your actions should be an example of what your spirit talking about. That's how you know what to do. That's how you should know what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. You should be following your spirit and not the other way around. Like people seem to think that we're like a body, like that just has a mind and has a soul, in it. Like that body part comes first, like that physical component, and it's really the other way, around, where you're a soul, you're a spirit first. That your spirit obviously existed before you was in this dimension in what we call time. Like, so that obviously precedes the other thing. So you're a spirit first. You're a spirit that was given a body and a mind so that you could have and use these 3 components together and do what your spirit needs to do and bring to life. And when you align yourself that way, first and foremost, so we speaking of alignment, like when you just align yourself that way, that this spirit is first, and this body is an extension, is the vehicle to move, to do this spirit's will. And my mind, is the engine that gives me the ability to figure out ways to maneuver and use it to my advantage to do the will of my spirit. When you leading with your spirit, you're just gonna flow different. You're gonna flow different. You're not gonna have the same, your spirit don't got the same desires your body do. If your body in the lead, you got to be, there's a whole lot you got to dodge because your body wants some things. So if you living like that, that's the harder way to go. That's definitely the harder way to go. But if you align yourself properly and understand that you are, a soul with a body and a mind to use to your advantage, to benefit the will of your soul, which is obviously, because that soul being is what connected to the divine power that we come from. So your soul be out there having a conversation, a real conversation with the divine spirits, the great divine spirits, and get the clearance to do all type of stuff, but it can't get through you because you allowing your body or your mind to lead you versus your soul. So when you align yourself that way, it definitely clears up the path for you. Great day to all the kings that walked in the room. And then another thing is, on your path, because it's not their journey, this is yours. So if you got to leave them behind, it's okay. That's between them and the divine powers. You don't feel bad about that. I had homies that I knew I would just outgrowing, and there wasn't nothing I can do but say, hey, this is what I got going on, and I can show you the results to how this is a benefit. But I can't stay here and do this because no matter how good we get at this, we can't pass none of this shit on to our kids. The only thing that we can pass on is prison time. Like, there's nothing that we gonna get out of the situation. So I'm out of here. You can come with me. You can follow the path that I'm going to lead, or you can stay here. Either way, when I swing through the hood, I don't see you no different. I don't look at you no different. But I had to go down my path because there was people on the other side of my, of my transition, of my evolution. There was people who needed me to go through everything I went through, heal from the things that I went through, write a book about the things that I went through, and then give it to them because they went through some things and that they needed to heal from. And little did I know, or little did they know, that my life circumstances and the gifts that the universe has gave me to interpret them and learn from them became the beauty for my ashes, and that's what's helping them get through what they got to go through. Now, should all them people, the benefit given to all these people, have been left behind so I could have stayed comfortable with the people that I used to be with? Was I supposed to stay true to who they thought I was, or who I thought I was, or who I thought I even wanted to be? Look what would have been missed, and it wouldn't just have been stuff missing in my life. It'd have been stuff missing in others, and not that I'm some great, thing like people's life wouldn't have moved on and got better. But clearly, I was a vessel being used in some sense. So you never know who's waiting for what you have. You never know what's on the other side of your obedience. There are blessings beyond your imagination on the other side of your obedience to your divinity. And there's life-changing instances that take place on the other side of your obedience to your divinity. That's why you don't got time to waste, because that divine spirit that's speaking to you It doesn't exist in this realm of time that we're in. It doesn't submit to this man-made time structure that we're in. So when it's speaking to you from a whole nother dimension that your body is experiencing because you in this one, listen, it's saying right now. It's on some right now. It ain't on some time shit. It's on some right now, this moment, this season, this time. And this is the way that you're supposed to move in accordance to the frequency that we operating on. And as you move with it, as you move in that new current, you're going to come down face to face and cross paths with people moving on that current, with people operating on that frequency, with people who has hearts that vibrate the way that yours do. And you're going to be able to link up with those people. And y'all going to be able to do some magical things that outlast and outshine all of y'all. You know, so it's not that you got to leave anyone behind. You just got to go down your path. And, you know, sometimes you got to let people out the car. Because this ain't the trip that they got to go on. Let them out the car. And understand that another passenger, another co-pilot. So, and that's another thing. Sometimes in some seasons, you need and deserve and should have a co-pilot that's more experienced in where you're trying to go. Someone that's been there before. Versus you trying to stay around everyone that's the blind leading the blind and everyone talking about how they want to do it, but don't nobody want to do it together because don't nobody want to let somebody else get more shine than them. You know, so really ain't nobody doing nothing but just talking about it. You don't need that. You need the person that's already been to the promised land and wrote a map about how to get there and could take you back and through it. A person that could say, yeah, I've crossed this valley before. This is the way that you walk to get up this hill. This is the things that you need to do in this season, in this environment to get where you're trying to go. You need some people like that in your life. And they, you know, not that they fall out of the sky, because I went through plenty of seasons where I was having to proactively seek out that person. And I won't even lie. In some seasons, I had to become the person that I was looking for. Some seasons and sometimes and in some instances, multiple times in my life, that it seemed like the heavens said, no, that's you. Pull that out of you. That thing that you keep looking for in other people, that thing that you keep depending for in other souls, pull that out of you. Because that's you. That's why you keep looking for it. And that's why you keep looking in the mirror and not really identifying with yourself. You identify with this thing that you see physically that you're familiar with, but inside you're like, what? Who is that? And you go outside and you start searching for it in other people. And the divine power said, no, that's you. That's you. So focus on you. More gold has been mined from the mines of men than any quarry on this planet. Where's your gold? It's inside you. Can't nobody get to it till you get to it. You gonna have to. And that means you going, and where the quarries at? Where the mines at? It's dark. It's deep. A lot of people ain't there. You don't never see people coming out, walking down the mine side by side, walking shoulder to shoulder. They in a single file line most of the time. It's a narrow path. It's a narrow path you on. You better act like it. And stop thinking that you gotta have so many people with you.